Next news. Breaking news from the White House.
Iran fired at least 4 one-way attack drones into the Strait of Hormuz. One slammed into the upper deck of a cargo ship. The other 3 got shot down. And here's the part that just broke the fake news script wide open. Oil still plunged below 70 into the 60s after President Trump's Iran move. That means Tehran lashed out, failed to seize control, and still watched America's leverage grow while prices dropped where voters actually feel foreign policy. At the pump. Donald Trump knocked the regime back, and now the same media clowns who swore Iran looked stronger are choking on their own spin. And wait till you hear Trump's line about Tehran now. See, the story matters because every working family in America pays for weakness every time a Democrat hands the Middle East to fanatics and then lies about the bill. Barack Obama pumped legitimacy into Tehran with the disgusting JCPOA. The former Biden administration inherited that rotten machine, coddled the same regime mindset, and left Americans staring at global chaos and higher energy pain whenever Iran rattled the shipping lane. Trump reversed it. Fast. Hard. Publicly. He hammered Iran's military position, kept the Strait of Hormuz from becoming a jihadist toll booth, and oil dropped below 70 into the 60s. See, that's not a think tank abstraction. That's gas money, grocery money, family budget relief. While PBS and the rest of the regime press pushed the line that Iran was stronger, Trump said the opposite, and reality backed him up. He said we knocked the hell out of them. And now we're negotiating from a position of pure strength. Then he buried the lie completely. Tehran is dying to make a deal. Strength cuts prices. Weakness gets ships hit and Americans squeezed. See, when oil drops into the 60s because Trump put Iran on notice, I pay attention to what works. After trying hundreds of supplements, C60 Evo flat out works. See, this Nobel Prize winning molecule, not just another antioxidant. It works at the cellular level where aging actually happens. In a Paris study, lab animals lived 90% longer, the longest life extension in history. I take this every morning, so bad news for the haters. I'm going to be around for a while. Now, the team in Houston, in their lab, they've been making this since 91. My brain fog gone, joint pain virtually eliminated. My wife's skin, she looks great. 10 years younger. My energy feels 20 years younger, too. More energy, clearer thinking, better skin, feeling young again. It's 172 times more powerful than vitamin C. It's worth more than gold per ounce, so get exclusive savings at c60evo.com/NNN. Make sure you use code NNN at checkout. Strength wins, and weak junk gets exposed. Now, one detail the media don't want burned into your brain. Trump said Iran fired 4 drones after a ceasefire. 1 hit a cargo ship, 3 got knocked out of the sky. He still says the regime is dying to make a deal. So think about how devastating this is for the Obama dead-enders. They sold appeasement to stability. Trump delivered force, falling oil, and a cornered regime. And I'm going to show you the receipts because the panic and the spin are absolutely priceless. Right there on your screen, look now. Price of oil plunged below 70, now in the 60s after President Trump's MOU. Huge for the upcoming elections. Trump's now looking for gas prices to plummet along with oil. Keep on going. Below 70. They keep dropping. Let's go, baby. Lower and lower and lower and lower. So oil dropping in the 60s, that's the direct hit on the leverage, but Iran didn't back off. Next, Trump's warning after drones were fired at ships in the Strait. The Islamic Republic of Iran shot at least 4 one-way attack drones at ships traversing the Strait of Hormuz. One of the drones solidly hit the upper deck of a large and very expensive cargo-carrying ship. Damage was done, but the ship was able to proceed on its way. We knocked down 3 other drones. Obviously, this is a foolish violation of our ceasefire agreement. President Donald J. Trump. So you see Trump calling out Iran for violating the ceasefire. Now watch him turn the screws even tighter, saying Tehran is desperate to cut a deal while the fake news keeps running cover.
Everyone said no thank you amazing. And then the fake news, like the New York Times, which is a failing publication. But the fake news, ABC, so bad, ABC television network, fake ABC, NBC, CBS, CNN. They actually said for a little while, it didn't play well, that Iran was much stronger today than it was 4 months ago. Think of it. They have no navy. They have no... They said they're stronger. They're dying to make a deal. They're giving us a lot. They should have been done over the 47-year period that they've reigned with terror. And that's what they did. They reigned with terror. When you see a young...
So Trump says Iran weakened, begging for terms, not stronger like the media. Next, Marco Rubio steps in with a peace framework between Lebanon and Israel. Major win the swamp said couldn't happen. Rubio stunning the world by achieving a peace framework directly with Lebanon and Israel. The fighting will finally stop. Rubio will go down as the greatest secretary in U.S. history.
God bless Israel. May God bless Lebanon. May God bless the United States of America and all those who pursue peace. Thank you.
And the pen hits the paper. Marco Rubio overseeing the signatures. It is official. So after the diplomatic breakthrough, the bigger question is still Iran and the danger it poses. Next, Trump boils it down to one line. You let a crazy regime get nukes and all hell breaks loose.
Weapon, because you want to see problems? Let a crazy country have a nuclear weapon. You'll see problems like you've never seen before.
That's the core of Trump's doctrine, no nuclear weapon for Iran. Next, he reminds voters who empowered Tehran in the first place, torching Obama's disastrous Iran deal.
Of Iran, and we're going to have to hit them very hard. And don't forget, when Barack Hussein Obama did the JCPOC, if you look at that, Barack Hussein Obama, have you heard of him?
Have you heard of him? Trump putting Obama's Iran sellout back on trial. Now we go from the rally stage to the waterway that matters, even as PBS confirms the Iranian drone strike helped choke traffic in the Strait.
Today, the world's most important oil choke point is once again closed. Hundreds of ships at a standstill in the Strait after a U.S. official confirms that off the coast of Oman, an Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps drone struck a Singapore-flagged cargo ship. The ship sustained damage but kept sailing, and there were no casualties, except to the momentum to open the Strait. The UN says before today, more than 50 ships left the Strait this week under a new UN Oman mechanism. But today, the UN Maritime Organization's Secretary General Arsenio Dominguez said in a statement, "I have decided to temporarily pause its implementation in order to reconfirm that the necessary safety guarantees continue to be in place." Earlier today, Iranian state media warned that ships must coordinate with Iran and use a route through the strait closest to Iran's coast in orange, instead of a route pushed by the U.S., Oman, and the UN near Oman's coast in yellow.
If ships are moving as they should be moving, then that's what we're going to judge and that's what we're going to react to.
Earlier today, Secretary of State Marco Rubio warned that the U.S. would never accept Iran closing the strait. He's in Bahrain visiting the Gulf Cooperation Council.
Today, we see a glimmer of hope.
To try and reassure the U.S.'s Gulf allies that the U.S.-Iran negotiations will protect their security after they bore the brunt of Iran's wartime assaults.
There is no part of this deal that's undertaken that in any way undermines the security, the stability, or the prosperity of any of our partners in the Gulf region.
So even legacy press has to admit Iran hit a ship and traffic froze. Next, the UN's scrambles to restart evacuations after the attacks halted the effort. UN says it's working to restart Hormuz evacuations after Iran attacks halted the effort. Next, the White House says what MAGA voters already know: Trump has been right on Iran, on the Strait, and all the falling oil prices.
What I'll say is that President Trump has been right about everything on Iran up until this point. He has been right that their military is totally destroyed. The Strait is open, and he's been right about oil and gas prices coming down. Another cap in his feather there. All of the cards are with President Trump.
So the White House says Trump called it from the start, and the scoreboard backs him up. Next, the president explains why after hitting Iran hard, America is now negotiating from pure strength.
And I said, we're going to journey down, we're going to do what we have to do, and we did. We knocked the hell out of them, and now we're negotiating from a position of pure strength, pure strength. They know that. And the Strait's already open, and we're setting records of the Strait. But we had to do that. We cannot let Iran have a nuclear weapon.
So the peak insult to the entire Obama-Biden foreign policy machine sits in one savage contrast. Iran fired 4 drones. 1 hit metal, 3 fell out of the sky. And instead of proving Trump failed, the regime proved Trump was right. Cornered enemies do reckless things. Winning countries absorb the hit, blast back, and tighten leverage. And Donald Trump did exactly that. Barack Obama empowered Tehran with one of the worst deals in American history. Joe Biden's people spent years treating Iranian aggression like a management problem instead of a civilizational threat. Trump called it cleanly. You want to see problems? Let a crazy country have a nuclear weapon. Exactly. See, that's the whole case. Hit them hard, block the bomb, keep the Strait open, and force the terror regime to beg. And look at the board right now. Oil plunged below 70 into the 60s. The White House flat out said President Trump has been right about everything on Iran. Marco Rubio just locked in a peace framework between Israel and Lebanon. Tehran lashed out in Hormuz and still lost ground. That's what peace through strength looks like when adults run the country again. The fake news will keep spinning the Obama loyalists, will keep pretending that their surrender doctrine built stability. Let them try. Every drop of the pump, every ally moving towards peace, every Iranian concession shreds their lie again. So here's the line in the sand. Do you want America governed by Trump's pure strength or by the same failed clowns who funded and flattered a terror regime? Put your answer in the comments and share this with somebody still buying the media spin, and watch who suddenly goes quiet when the receipts hit. But I don't want you to go quiet. I want you to get the news. And that's why I set up this telephone number just for you and the thousands of patriots who are already taking advantage of it. What do you have to do? It's very simple. All you got to do is text the word raw feed to 844-840-4963. Bypass the algorithm, get notifications from me right to your phone when the notifications from YouTube never arrive. And celebrate all these wins by going to the merch shelf below this video or at shop.nextnewsnetwork.com.
The system controls information. Information control is power.
I want you to see this.
The truth only survives together. They don't want this shared. Share this now.